I do think that is the direction the field is going in. And so currently in lung cancer, immunotherapy is in later lines of treatment. So we have in metastatic disease, depending on if you have a driver mutation or not, you'll either receive immunotherapy up front or later. But almost everyone with advanced lung cancer now sees immunotherapy at some point. And there is definitely a subset of individuals who have had years of benefit with immunotherapy. And so now it's being tested earlier, and there's already one clinical trial that's already been published, Empower 010, and there's multiple other tests, clinical trials using, as I mentioned, neoadjuvant and adjuvant immunotherapy and combinations with chemotherapy or other treatments in the neoadjuvant or adjuvant setting. In addition, this is also happening with targeted therapies. And so we now have the EGFR drug Osimertinib has shown improvements in disease-free survival in the early stage setting. And there's tons of other studies where we're bringing these targeted treatments earlier. And once again, this is an opportunity to study all these biomarkers. So that part is very exciting. I think one thing that's a challenge in these earlier settings is, what is the endpoint? Right now, I think we need to think about the endpoints differently when looking at immunotherapy versus targeted therapy. For immunotherapy, it looks like initially response rate, or seeing if the tumor is shrinking, is currently our best way of knowing if the immunotherapy is working. And there's waiting to see if someone's benefiting for years. And in terms of targeted therapies, it's right now we have our best way of assessing response is called disease-free survival. So how long does the patient not have to see disease come back and need to get started on treatment again? But we're still looking for better endpoints, because at some point, ultimately overall survival and having better quality of life is what the ultimate endpoint is. But I think there's going to be a lot of new ways we have to think about early endpoints. One really exciting early endpoint, I apologize, is known as pathologic response. And so with these neoadjuvant treatments, one thing that's interesting is when you remove the tumor, you can actually see how much tumor is remaining, because you're removing all existing visible tumor at the time of surgery. And so this allows us to develop new endpoints such as major pathologic response or pathologic complete response, which just is a marker of how much remaining cancer is there at the time of surgery. So I think we're going to be developing a lot of new and interesting endpoints in the early stage setting as well.